Remember that equations containing fractions are most easily solved by taking the preliminary step of multiplying the entire equation by the least common denominator of the fractions. So for example, we need to solve x over 2 plus 1/3 equals 5/2. Okay, so this equation has fractions. You may work with the fractions if you like, but most people prefer not to work with fractions if they can avoid it. And in this case, we can avoid it simply by finding the least common denominator, which we see in this case is 6. And then multiplying the entire equation by that LCD. So that'll be our next step. Now remember, when we multiply a fraction by a whole number, that whole number goes just to the numerator, not to the denominator. So that gives us 6x over 2 plus 6 over 3 equals 6 times 5 over 2. Now why does this help? Well, because now the fractions are going to go away, don't they? 6 divided by 2 is 3, so that gives us 3x. Here we have 6 divided by 3, so that's 2. And here we have 6 times 5 is 30, divided by 2 is 15. And I'm sure everyone would agree that this equation, which is equivalent to the original equation, looks a lot easier than that original equation, doesn't it? Okay, so now we just need to subtract 2. And then we have 13x, 3x is equal to 13, and so x is equal to 13/3. And that solution is sketched out here in the notes. Let's do one more example of that. Now we have 2 over x minus 3/4 equals 1 over 2x. What's our LCD this time? Well, we have a 4, we have a 2x here, so that means our denominator, least common denominator, is going to be 4x, isn't it? Okay, so now let's multiply each fraction by 4x. Remember that 4x goes just to the numerator, not to the denominator. So we have 4x times 2 over x minus 4x times 3 over 4 is equal to 4x over 2x. Why do we do this? Well, so that the fractions will go away. Okay, so here the x will cancel, here a 4 will cancel, and here a 2x will cancel. That leaves us with 2 here. So the x's go away here, so that leaves 8. Here the 4 goes away, so we have 3x, and here we just have 2. So let's subtract the 2 now. Subtract 2 and add 3x. That will leave us with 6 on the left-hand side and 3x. Well, if 6 is equal to 3x, then x must be equal to 2. And that is our solution. And again, the process is outlined here in the notes.